Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Summit 4. We're getting ready now for our second and final European match of the day as Vega Squadron takes on Liquid WinteR. We are in the upper bracket. Big match here. Best of 3 winner, guaranteed top 3, and is one best of 5 away from coming to the live finals here in Los Angeles.
One best of 5 away from meeting the government himself.
Yeah. I think a lot of these players have already met me. Not sure that's the big draw for the event. But you never know.
Meeting the three cats.
So looking at the matchup here, Liquid is currently viewed as slight underdogs, I guess. Do you agree with that? Do you think Vega are the favorites coming in?
Slight favorites, but I still think Liquid is really strong though. Even though they didn't make it to the majors, they barely lost to their opponents. So I don't think they are by any means a weaker team compared to Vega. Vega is just a bit more favorite because they won ESL. So.
They did not look amazing at MLG by any stretch. So, all right, with that, guys, we've got a draft underway now. Game 1 has begun. Vega taking on Liquid. We'll hop into it now. We'll see what the teams are grabbing as far as picks and bans go. The Ember Spirit, Darkseer, two of the favored first phase picks do go through.
And Vega, when they first pick the Ember, it's like you don't really want to give the Ember plus the Darkseer combination.
Yeah, so you kind of have to pick
I think this combination is actually stronger than the Wyvern plus Darkseer right now.
I agree. The other hero that teams like to pick with Darkseer is Templar Assassin, though normally not over the Ember.
The cow, the space cow. Don't forget that space cow.
Well, they already have Undying, though. I don't know if you can also run a Spirit Breaker. Isn't that too much?
Maybe not. Maybe not. You can still do Undying as a babysitter. You babysit the safe lane. We saw Monkey Business do that a lot with Fly playing the Undying on safe lane, and they have a Tusk plus something off lane. So if they really want the Space Cow, they could still theoretically fit it into their lineup.
For now, the Intergalactic Space Cow getting ignored. It's a Shadow Fiend grab for Liquid as they solidify their team fight. And speaking of Wyvern, he is still available. Liquid very light on the proper stuns here. 0 so far.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Wyvern doesn't also... If you really want disable, you go for, like, Lion. Wyvern is more on, like, the cooldown for team fight purpose. You don't really want to pick a Wyvern to lock down an Ember. If you are looking to lock down an Ember, you want Lion or Disruptor in some cases, but Lion is mostly what teams have been utilizing against Ember.
5 seconds remaining.
Which I think EG was...
His lane is just so weak, though.
EG is the only team that actually does that a lot.
His lane is so weak, though, in general. Especially against, like, a lot of these heroes. Like, you look at, like, a Beastmaster or a Dazzle. These are strong laning heroes that can get a lot done early.
Yep, I agree.
That's where the Wyvern brings a lot more to the table.
Yeah, but Wyvern's lockdown against Ember, it's you can't really count on that.
Other big hero that you mentioned, which teams do, I think, is more preferable, is the Disruptor. Very reliable way to catch Ember, unless he gets a BKB, which he generally does not want to do.
Only a few teams pick Disruptor. I think Vega themselves, they pick Disruptor for solo sometimes and MVP. Most of the teams don't really use the hero too much. He's also...
I've seen yeah, NIP run him a lot.
He's also weak, you know, in the lane. Like, you mentioned Disruptor. Disruptor is always good for pressuring one offlaner. But when there's 2 heroes, then Disruptor becomes a lot weaker in the lane.
So they are going to go for the Wyvern. Your classic trio, Darkseer, Shadow Fiend, Wyvern. Big AoE team fight. And they do have one more pick to spare here. It looks like they'll be needing another... well, either... Let's see. How are they going to run this? So Shadow Fiend mid, probably their carry. With a Darkseer off lane, maybe on Undy helping him out a little bit, and then Wyvern +1 safe lane. So what's the carry here for Mr. Matumba Man?
I think if you want lockdown, maybe you go Wraith King. But otherwise, if you want to go for just 5 man, I think you go Juggernaut. And just 5 man. You don't really need lockdown against the Ember. If you
Matumba Man does like Jug. Yeah, that's one of his signature heroes.
If you can finish the game, you don't really need lockdown against the Ember because you don't really need to kill him. You don't allow the game to reach the phase where the Ember is going to be able to defend against the push. So you finish the game early, and Juggernaut is a perfect carry for finishing the game early. So I could see that happening for Team Liquid. You can utilize the Darkseer to get a mech, Shadow Fiend go for more carry items, Undying just go for levels and maybe the Glimmer Cape if needed. So overall, I think Liquid are having a really good lineup for 5-manning again.
Vega going for the heavy minus armor now with the Dazzle Slardar.
Wait, is that a support Slardar or no? Probably safe lane.
Probably safe lane.
Does Vega actually run support Slardar? Because I know Mag is the one that plays the Beastmaster. Pasha is the one that plays the Ember. So Unless they're running Slardar mid, it's a
They could run like a Beastmaster mid, maybe. Slardar off lane.
Slardar offlane Beastmaster mid and pick another support.
So that would be a no one Beastmaster, Pasha Ember, and Mag Slardar.
Yep, possible. So no one actually does play the Beastmaster, yeah. Mag is not the only one that plays the hero.
Silencer, the ban by Liquid. They want to be able to get off their big combo.
Nope.
And Vega will ban Matumba Man's Juggernaut. So
No.
they're one step ahead of you, WinteR.
Too bad.
Well, they're with you, I guess, in lockstep. Is the more appropriate way to put it.
What else is good versus all these heroes?
He loves
5-man.
Slark.
Does he? Like, Slug is not exactly a 5-man hero,
Yeah.
but I could see Slug working. Like you want to be able to pick off the Dazzle behind. Slug can actually flank the Dazzle. But the tempo of the Slug is not the same as a Juggernaut with this lineup.
He would have an Ion Shell, which is kind of nice.
If you want to push, it's like Gyro or even a Luna. Just keep pushing. But Slug is more towards late game. Like you want to go into late game. But that doesn't solve the fact that they don't really have any lockdown for the Ember.
Yeah, unless you need like a Hex and a Blink on the Darkseer.
Wraith King is a stun, but can you ever land the Hellfire Blast on the Ember Spirit? That is the main question.
I mean, if you want to go unconventional, there's like a Storm Spirit type hero.
Is he that unconventional?
At this point, it is. Who's running Storm?
Wind Ranger.
Wind Ranger. Okay, that fits a similar idea of someone who's some lockdown, good laning hero, more up tempo than a Slark, but still has a lot of lockdown and carry potential.
I like this more than the Slug because, like you mentioned, he has at least that one lockdown, and you can build Shadow Blade or Blink to catch the Ember. At least you have some means of ability to gank and lock down the Ember because you're not going to be able to finish the game early, so you have to have ways to deal with the Ember later in the game.
So, I'm actually curious. Has Matumba Man have any recorded games on Wind Ranger? Because I don't really recall him playing the hero.
I am not sure though. That would be interesting.
It feels to me like they felt kind of pressured into grabbing a carry with lockdown.
Yeah, a carry
which
with
is
lockdown.
not, rather than like Matumba Man's preferred hero, necessarily.
So how about Vega Squadron? Are they going to get another support? That's the question.
I think so.
Like a lot of teams have been running Slardar support successfully in recent games and in recent series, especially at MLG. Monkey Business did run him. I can't remember the other team that ran him, but Slardar supports.
So then you would get, in that case, you get the Pasha, or sorry, the no one mid hero,
Yeah,
which
you-
would be
you
what,
get
like
another-
a TA.
You get another mid hero and you put.
What would be the no one hero in this situation? TA is one of his signature heroes. Shadow Fiend's already taken. I don't know. Options are kind of limited for traditional mids at this point. That's where I'm feeling like maybe they just run a core Beastmaster mid.
maybe. Yes.
Lena.
Oh, okay.
So it could be a support or a core. We're gonna have to see who picks up what. And it's a solo Lena, so it looks like it will be the no one Ember, the Pasha Slaughter, and the Mag Beastmaster. So
I was right.
we
about
got the
one.
cores right, but we got the hero assignment slightly off.
I was right about the So I was saying that I remember only Mag plays the Beastmaster. That's why I was quite sure that the Beastmaster, regardless of situation, he would be on the off lane.
I like this better because Slardar really needs a blink to fully engage in the mid game, and Beastmaster doesn't really need any items. It's nice if he gets them.
I mean, obviously, like you mentioned, it's nice to get items on Beastmaster, but he doesn't really require the blink as much as the Slardar. Or sometimes you see Mag. I think most of the time he doesn't go blink first. He always goes for Necrobook, and then maybe blink or bots later, depending on how the game goes.
Which means you really want the Slardar to have one, so he can follow up no one when he jumps in with the chain.
I'm just interested to see whether they actually place their lanes with Dazzle with Beastmaster. Could be a strong lane there. Slardar, Lina setup. Laning wise, both the off lane and the safe lane looking really strong. The only worrisome lane is the Ember versus Shadow Fiend lane, because I know that Ember will struggle against Shadow Fiend when Shadow Fiend gets levels. There's no way, I don't think there's any way you can go about that unless you actually help the Ember get a kill in the early phase. Otherwise, Ember is going to struggle when SF has level 4 or level 5. The lane is probably going to be over for him, and he can only rely on roaming around, trying to get kills. He can't really farm in the lane, or even stacks.
Alright guys, we open up with a 1 minute pause from Syoma. As we get underway, a best of 3 winners bracket semi-final showdown here. Winner is 1 series away from coming to our live finals in Los Angeles. It's Liquid taking on Vega. Matumba Man will be on a hero he's not really known for playing all that much, the Wind Ranger. Fada on a more common hero for him, the Shadow Fiend Jerex. Your Wyvern, Mind Control, who's really stolen the hearts and minds of the fans as of late. He'll be on the Darkseer. I think perhaps best known for his Clockwork play, and that leaves Kuroki on the Undying. And on the side of Vega, of Unknown, or sorry, No One playing the Ember Spirit, Solo the Lina, Pasha the Slardar, Sayoma on the Dazzle, and Mag the Beastmaster.
Isn't he more famous because of the Tusk, that Tusk play he
The
made?
Tusk as well. He's like the Tusk.
The clock is
Clockwork.
more of the because of the force stuff, not of the hero. Because of the way he uses the force stuff with the power.
No,
clock.
he's just so good at like hooking and then pushing them back with the cogs towards his team. He's mastered that. The fine art.
I still think his Tusk is better.
Okay. Well, we can both agree he's very good at both heroes.
Okay.
We got some mind control fans in the house. So, seeing the draft winter, I think we both agreed Vega were slight favorites. Would you like to maintain that, or would
What?
you like to change that?
That's before seeing the draft, right?
Yes.
So right now, I think that I feel like Liquid's heroes are more easier to execute, whereas Vega, they need to stretch the game, speed them up, get pick off with the Slardar and the Beastmaster, and get Roshan. Try to drag the game as long as possible, and they can't really afford to make too many mistakes because they make mistakes that lose towers, that lose objectives. I feel like Liquid's lineup is just much more solid, easier to execute. You get your mech, you get your levels, you group up, you push, and you get the towers, and you keep pressuring. It's easier to execute that. The risk of you making a mistake is lower.
And you've got some very strong lanes here with only dealing with an Ember Spirit mid. You've got the Shadow Fiend. You should be able to farm very easily in that lane, unless there's a dual lane.
Dude, did you see this? Do you see what he just did?
Yeah, the TP mid and run
Yeah,
down.
because usually the supports would TP here
Yeah,
and run up
I've,
here.
I've talked about this before. This is very common now.
It's really? Is this really common?
Yeah, because teams are always TPing bottom, so it's like the next level, TP and run down the river.
What other teams have been doing this a lot?
Oh god, I can't remember, dude. I've seen it like 5 or 6 times now. I think I've seen it in SEA once or twice as well.
Okay, I must have been dreaming then.
I'm surprised you've been casting a lot too.
Yeah, I've never seen this so much. This is my first time.
So basically heroes generally TP bottom and run into the jungle towards, so this will, and teams to counter that have TP'd bottom and tried to run up the lane to spot them, but this is kind of the next level, bypass the enemy.
So what is
defenses
the
ward.
next level thing? You TP 2 heroes, one to the left, one to the right.
And then you give them both wards and then hope that one of them can sneak by undetected. Yeah, that would be the next level. I would say so. So both teams gonna just comfortably grab their free bounty runes here. No One will grab his, rock up towards mid, and Fada will grab his and head towards the lane as well. So not rushing the bottle. He will get the early null, or sorry, not null, Wraith Band. God,
Yeah.
my brain is not working yet.
New meta, Shadow Fiend with null
The
talisman.
null tally Shadow Fiend.
And you get level 1
Easy
raise.
extra raises.
Is that like one extra raise?
It's not value, I can tell you that.
So Seema is actually going to start at mid instead of starting at bottom. So mid lane never is a 1v1 matchup. We see the Wyvern coming in with his Harris, but he's not going to land. Okay, he's going to land the Arctic Burner on 2 heroes. Well played.
Yeah, always sucks when you don't hit that one uphill.
Yeah,
You
but
all-
as long as you get like 1 right click off, because it doesn't really change the duration. Even if you get the right click when your Arctic Burn is ending, you still get the full damage. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
So meanwhile, bottom lane, looks like Mag's going to have his work cut out for him. Up against the constant decay spam, Matumba Man playing pretty aggressively with the auto attacks. And compare that to top lane where Mind Control is also under some pressure, but able to get that side pull going.
He did the pull, so it's going to help his lane immensely. And
Seems like he'll have the easier time here at first.
I mean, Beastmaster could still have a good time, depending on how he plays his lane. If he's able to trade efficiently against the Undying with his ball, then he can actually lane. So we'll see. He can maybe even kill the Undying if he's not careful, if he gets an Orb of Venom.
Mind Control comfortable though. He's farming the lane now. Pasha doesn't really want to step up too close. But Solo is able to pull, whereas Jerex currently is not. He's made the rotation bottom. The Undying of Kroki continues to focus on zoning. Is that 2-minute rune about to spawn? No Radiant Vision of this Dazzle for the moment, though now he's going to pop back into the ward spot. They tried to de-ward, but they were off the mark. So it'll be a bounty rune for Sayoma and an illusion for Jerex.
He places a sentry here, interesting. He thinks that there's a ward around this area.
And only ward even remotely in sight is this one.
Didn't he check the pool? Maybe he didn't check the pool camp. He doesn't know that it's blocked.
Well, the Undying was zoning, and the
Yeah,
Jerax was mid, so I don't think he's checked it
Yeah,
yet.
no one was checking.
Oh,
Okay.
Fada in danger, though. He's cold embrace, kept alive. They might be able to turn this with a raise. No one also in trouble. Oh, got him. Nicely done by Fada.
Headshot.
That was level 2 Flame Guard. Very strong, but the cold embrace too much healing.
Jerax once again at the right place at the right time. This is just top level quality support play. You always want to expect something to happen, and he realized the Ember has to, like I mentioned, before the SF reaches level 4 and 5, Ember has to try and do something. So when the Ember has level 3, he tries to go in with the Flame Guard. Here comes Jerax to save his buddy.
Now Kuroki just now hitting level 2, getting heavily harassed by those boars. Very annoying.
Yeah, it is very annoying for a support.
Yeah, now Fada's in a good place here. He hits level 4. His bottle already out. He can send the boots out soon.
This lane should be over for the Ember. There's nothing much he can do anymore in this lane. He's gonna try and get whatever CS he can grab, but Shadowfiend would get majority of the CS from now on.
It's just too easy to remove the Flame Guard with the level 3 raise as well. At that point, you really need like a support to set you up so you could be on the offensive. But speaking of supports,
But who is gonna set up a kill for him? Like
that's the
Lina?
thing. Dazzle,
if
no poison touch.
If
so
Lina
definitely
is
not.
coming mid, he needs to require the Ember to start the gank with chains, and then oh my god, the damage.
Man, no one getting punished.
This lane is literally over. And Mind Control actually smokes into the jungle, anticipating that there's a stack there, but
He's going to start stacking the enemy jungle. Oh, no, not quite.
he's not
Timing a
gonna find
little
any-
bit too early. They will grab a haste turn on Sayoma, though, but Mind Control moving into position can help keep Jerax alive with a surge if need be. And the need might be. As they both start taking harassment. Now Sayoma posted up on Mind Control. Really no catch to punish this.
yeah, but it was still at the end of the day really interesting thought process that they realized that the Ember's not going to be able to lane, so they were expecting there were stacks there for him to actually come back into the game. That's why they made that smoke rotation. Unfortunately for them, there's no stacks, so no one has only the lane to go for, which is getting really, really tough for him.
Yeah, they scout, they don't find the stacks, so slightly wasted smoke, but at the same time, there are no stacks, so it's still good for Liquid
Yeah,
in the
it's
end.
a win-win situation.
Yeah, no matter what, you're pretty happy.
So the stacks for the Shadowfiend, however, are there's 2 here and 2 here.
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad. Yep.
Jerax has been quite efficient, helping mid a lot,
And I like
checking runes.
I like the fact that he actually tangled here, so he can always stack and check the runes at the same time.
That's cute.
Yeah, that efficiency.
Just a little tree sliced away. So yeah, comparing the two offlaners, Mind Control getting a tiny bit more, but it's not really that bad. Mag's still doing okay in the
It's a
offlane.
Darkseer, right? At the end of the day, you're expecting a Darkseer to get more CS than the Beastmaster offlane. If the Darkseer has even CS with the Beastmaster, then the Beastmaster is going to do more later. Because Beastmaster, like you mentioned at the start of the draft, he doesn't need items, he just needs his levels. And Darkseer is a very item and level dependent offlaner.
Yeah, he won't really have the jungle to fall back on with this Shadow Fiend occupying mid, so...
Maybe the Shadowfiend would be, sharing.
I don't think so. Not when there's a mech to be purchased.
Is
You
he-
know how Fada loves his mech.
is
Don't
he
you remember
going-
the Dragon Knight mech strat?
Is he actually going the mech, or he's going to leave the Darkseer?
I guess he doesn't have to, but he's farming really well.
Yep, and you want to get it ASAP, so I guess... Oh, here we go. Solo misses his stun. Rune secured for Fada.
The double rune grab, and now Jerax marching back on mid. No one just hit level 6, though. Will be a tough kill.
Yeah, he is actually going to be looking to move right now. He's level 6 on no one, so you want to be able to try and gang the other lanes with your remnants if possible, since the laning phase is really not very favorable for him anymore in the middle lane. He has a TP scroll.
Jerax scouting again. He's still expecting this jungle to be farmed up, but he is once again not going to find anything.
They are putting a lot of emphasis in to make sure that the Ember doesn't have anything to come back on. So even if it's not successful, there's no stacks, but at the end of the day, you're still happy that, oh, there's actually no stacks for the Ember.
I guess that's where he's going to have to come back on kills.
Yep, I think kills
Jungle is just not happening.
Kills is like the main way he comes back into the game. As soon as you pop level 7, I think you are going to be looking to be as much as possible active on the map if you can. If you find any opportunities for a gank or a counter gank, anything that you can actually get a kill on. So because the laning is just not good for the Ember at all. against the SF.
Well, we'll have a 2-minute pause, WinteR,
2-minute pause.
according to the players. I'm not sure if I buy it.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
probably
I,
not 2 minutes.
because I know when we say pause in C 2 minutes, it's not 2 minutes.
It's never
It's
2
never
minutes.
2 minutes. Oh no, the famous thing is sec. Give me a sec, but it's never
A sec. A sec is not enough time to do anything, so it's not surprising that it's never enough.
So they are gonna look to get blink on Sada, then the game will start rolling for them. They wanna get pickoffs, they wanna try and rush, they wanna just buy enough time for everyone to get items before the high ground. Or
Meanwhile, I
5
feel like
minute
for
comes.
Liquid, like Darkseer's not really ready to fight for a bit yet. Your Wyvern doesn't have level 6, so there might be an opportunity here. Sayoma and Jarek's gonna duke it out a little bit.
Yep, I think that the Darkseer, even though he doesn't have too much farm, but if the Shadowfiend is getting the mag, right?
Dire's middle tower
Is he
is
though?
under
Well,
attack.
he
if the
still
sh-
could be.
If the Shadowfiend is getting the mag, then the Darkseer can just, you know, get something else, and you rely on your team grouping up so you can get cash that way. And before you group up, you're always generally going to be Ion Shining a creep wave, pushing the side lane, so you're going to get your income regardless. And you're going to get gold from tower.
Speaking of income, look what we got here. A delicious,
Do you know what?
nutritious triple stack.
Do you know what the
Fafada.
Chinese casters call this? They call this the gold mine.
The gold mine?
Yeah, every time they are casting, they're going to talk about, oh, are there any gold mines set up for the carries?
Maybe a legacy from the Warcraft 3 days.
Yeah, maybe.
Jerax trying to get over the trees, but he gets stunned, and the Arctic Burn, almost wearing off there. Oh, it does! He doesn't make it over the cliff. Now Solo's going to have a freebie with a follow-up stun. Oh, a bit of bad luck there
That
for
is
Jerax.
so sad.
He was like, if he's like a couple inches farther, it probably puts him on the other side, but the luck was not with him.
And
And
here we
Solo
go.
capitalizes.
Not a good day to go to the poker table for Jerax. And Mag is close to level 5. Darkseer is also level 5. So for the most part, I think Beastmaster has been doing a really good job getting experience on the lane. Because when you're even on terms of experience with the Darkseer, I think you're doing a really good job. Because Darkseer, you would say Darkseer is much more of a stronger offlaner than Beastmaster.
Yeah, definitely harder to kill, which is the thing that allows them to be very aggressive here.
Mhm.
Though that said, they do have amp damage now, and they have the double stun. Might be an opening for Vega to get some
Yeah,
kills.
I think right now, if he gets stunned, it doesn't matter if you have Surge.
No. And especially with Solo, already 5.5. He's gotten a ton.
Oh, okay, so we got our answer. Fata is never gonna ditch the love for the mech.
This guy he was doing mech mid before it was cool. Even before Mushi Shadowfiend mech mid, there was the Fada Dragonite mech.
Troll, didn't he do it on Troll first?
Yeah, it was like the same patch, I think.
And
Troll
no,
and DK.
no, it's not the same patch. It was like, oh, you mean I'm not talking about the the sniper troll patch. It's like before that.
No. It was the old Troll.
Yeah, the
days.
old troll.
But it was the same patch when he was doing DK and Troll mech. I'm pretty
and,
sure.
and he was doing mech on Invoker as well.
The mech Voker. Some heroes it just doesn't work on with the mana cost nowadays, but
Yeah.
Shadowfiend definitely not one of those. He's got the mana to support it and then
He
some.
has too much mana, some may say.
Nerf his mana. Is that how you would balance the Shadow Friend?
100 mana erase.
Dire's bottom
How do you like
tower
that?
is under
Ugh. Sounds
You're
terrible.
not, you're not even a Shadowfiend player.
Yeah, I am. I play Shadowfiend.
Oh.
Not particularly well, but I enjoy playing it. That would really stretch your efficiency. Oh, top lane, big crush from Pasha. Not enough for the kill, but you can really see that physical damage from the crush being amped up. It leaves a mark even on the 7 base armor Darkseer.
They need Guardian Greaves, I guess. Oh, okay, wait, maybe not. He can't get the Guardian Greaves. SF is getting mech, I forgot. So the itemization on the Darkseer this game, maybe he wants to go for Crimson Guard. I'm not sure what does he go for this game. I think Crimson Guard could be good against amplified damage.
That's an interesting idea. We do not see that item very often, but
Yep.
right as Liquid look to siege, Vega pick up their shiny Blink Dagger on Slardar. He's going to grab it now from the courier, needs to walk home, and no one being heavily harassed back here. Sayoma also in a bit of danger. He has to grave himself, and that leaves no one very vulnerable. The Splinter Blast crashing through onto 3 heroes. Fada in pursuit. He'll get the first kill of this. I'm going to call it the mid game now as we
Very well
hit the
played.
11-minute mark.
Very well played by the Liquid trio of Kuroki, Jerax, and Fata. They played the situation right, dropped the tombstone to make sure that they secure the last hit on the tower, and it allows them to make sure that they clean up the kill as well, because there's no tower, no TPs coming in. They didn't, dive for the kills first. They make sure they get the towers, and then they dive for the kills. Very disciplined play.
Well, they're going to look for more kills. Pasha, though, has a blink. He'll amp and then retreat.
Oh, that is not ideal way to reveal a blink.
Well, I guess at least he doesn't die, but now
The
Liquid.
5-man. Okay, let's go. 5-man. I'm
Alright.
dying.
Do
SF.
Vega want to fight this? Doesn't seem like
They are
it.
trying to split as much as they can with the Beastmaster roll, like I mentioned. This is going to be their plan. They're going to just wait here until someone shows up. But Liquid knows that Vega needs to catch people that while they are pushing it as 5-man. So they're going to make sure that no one goes back to the towers alone. And they try to group up as much as possible so they avoid that from happening.
Nice jump by no one. He's going to find Kuroki in the mid lane. Quickly devours him with the Flame Guard. Forcing out a triple teleport rotation. Doesn't look like they're going to get anything for this. Even that single solitary raise.
That was a really good pick off for them. It slows down the push by maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Wow, he's even going to try and get the bounty rune.
And that was a triple TP. That was a huge commitment to save an Undying.
Huge win for Vega Squadron there. Very well played. And Mac is indeed going to go for the Necrobook. Starts off with the Staff of Wizardry.
Fada getting jumped mid, but who's really caught home? The 2-hero shackle laid in from Matumba Man. Fada still has the mech available. Laguna's going to hit him. He got off the mech, but not going to matter. Vega, they've got the burst to bring him down. Ends up being a Slardar for a Shadow Fiend. Vega likely to be very happy with that trade.
Any trades that are even favors Vega at this stage, unless it's a support for core. Any core for core trade is good for Vega because you're buying time. Essentially, you just need to buy as much time as possible until the Ember becomes really good at defending against all this 5-man.
So up to 1,300 gold now, so drums coming soon.
He went for the phase as well because he realized there's no way he can go for the greedy bots build, which we are seeing very often nowadays. Because this game is going to be very fast-paced from Liquid. So realizing that, then he goes for the phase plus drums. So it's going to allow him to fight much more efficiently. And it's going to just give him that maybe extra movement speed to move around the map to split push because they need to be able to be moving Liquid around the map.
Well, Liquid are moving around the map. They're hunting.
Oh,
Sayoma going to get scouted here
TP.
Momentarily. Tries for the TP out. Is there any sort of lockdown? No Winter's Curse yet.
Well played.
Liquid can't get the kill. And
Well
that is
done.
a slight concern for this team.
Yeah,
Bit light on the lockdown.
That was well done. At least they didn't lose. They need to make sure every move they make, they don't lose anything. Apart from losing towers, they are going to try to make up with by farming elsewhere, try to get a trade, any tower trade, any farm, any experience, anything they can get in return is just good for them at this point. Because there's no way they can fight straight up against what Liquid have, against the Tombstone, the mech. They're not even going to be bothering. I don't think they'll be building a mech on Vega, so they are going to be playing with a disadvantage on the mech the whole game. I don't think any of their heroes would be able to build the mech. Dazzle is going to be really poor this game.
No, they're getting split push items and just small skirmish items. It looks like the Necro Book coming out for your Beastmaster, Yule Scepter probably in the works for solo, Pasha with the blink already.
Liquid is just going to be looking to force Vega to TP back to the base as soon as they can.
Well, they're going to oblige. Double teleport coming in. First man in is no one. Gets the chains off on Fada. Forces out the Requiem, but backup's coming. They get the crush. Curse is there, though, and it gets turned onto Pasha. Quickly dropping to Matumba Man's focus fire. A furious onslaught now hunting for no one. He will jump away with the Remnant. A 2-hero takedown and the tower.
That was
the disaster scenario
that
for
was
Vega.
very risky play there though. They saw Matumba Man in middle with the creeps there because Matumba Man was pushing the middle, so they thought that they could have actually fought at top with maybe more TPs. They only TP'd surprisingly 3 heroes or 4, 3 heroes I think. 3 heroes only TP'd in, and the other 2 supports didn't actually come to the fight. And they even started the fight off with a really good Searing Chains to disable the Shadow Fiend at the start.
Look at these items for Liquid. You've already got almost 3,000 gold on the Shadow Fiend, and an Aghanim's already complete from
This
Matumba
is
Man.
looking really bad for
They
them.
are super fat.
That move at top cost them a lot. It was really risky. They saw that they could take a fight without the Wind Ranger there, but it didn't pay off for them. So right now they are in a really bad spot. The push is going to be coming sooner compared to a few minutes ago because they lost that fight. Right now Liquid has all their core items up. I don't really think they need anything else anymore. Mind Control right now just needs to be able to
Maybe get a blink.
drop his wall. Yeah, get a blink. But he needs another few levels before he can use the blink. So maybe he's just gonna get the blink, I guess.
They could smoke here, perhaps, Liquid. Let's see what they want to do. 4 heroes congregating. Don't have a smoke. Actually, they do on Kuroki.
Do they have a medallion of some sorts? No.
Kuroki and Jerax, actually.
No medallion. So they're just gonna be looking to push. They need to avoid splitting up too much because that's when the Beastmaster, the Slada with blink is gonna catch you out. So they're doing a really good job of hugging each other, like staying close to each other, so no one gets picked off. And are they gonna smoke? That's the question. All the lanes are pretty good, but their ward vision is also really good. So they're just gonna go ahead with the straight up push here. Maybe smoking with the supports. Yep.
Meanwhile, Vega just calmly pushing in the bottom lane. Solo.
They want to take a fight.
Closing in on his Yules, but Liquid
This
faking
mod-
like they're going towards
This mod
mid.
is gonna.
They show the Shadow Fiend, but the rest of the team's actually headed bottom. Mag yet to see them. This jump needs to be good from Liquid, and they're going to turn with the Remnant, quickly catch out 2 with the chains, but they lock down Mag for now. Requiem coming through his Fada. TP's in and joins the fight. Suddenly, 5 Liquid heroes have arrived, and no one barely able to jump away. The Dazzle ultimate keeping him slightly in fighting shape. Power shot will hit him. Still not enough damage. They only lose a Beastmaster.
That is.
Could have lost 4
That is
there.
still, honestly, that is still really good for Vega. They only lost 1. That was a 5 hero rotation.
But they may lose something else. Well, never mind. Looked like Liquid wanted to push, but
I think
they don't
at
have
this,
to creep wave.
at this point, anything you can get right now, as long as you don't lose the Ember. I think Ember is the key hero here. If you don't lose the Ember, you're gonna be happy with whatever trade you get. You get the other lanes pushed out. You get as much farm, even on the support Lina, I think you want to get as much farm as possible because Lina and the Axe and the Beastmaster Axe will be your primary tools of pushing out the waves. So you need the Lina and the Beastmaster to have their levels and farm.
So this could be a Manta style for Fada. Not an item we would normally see on Shadow Fiend, but versus that amplified damage,
Versus the
obviously.
M damage and
A nice choice.
you can also probably trick the Beastmaster into roaring the wrong SF. So
If you're really good, maybe dodge a Light Strike array. Easier said than done, but if anyone can do it, I think Fada's pretty high up on that list. And he's pretty much, in fact, he has the Manta already at 18 minutes. I thought Wind Ranger's Axe timing was impressive, WinteR, but this has just been a free farm game for Liquid's cores.
yeah, they basically have so much time and space to farm because they are much superior in team fight. There's nothing Vega can do to actually stop that. They're just gonna try. Oh no, they blink up, get an amp damage off.
Oh, he's lucky WinteR's curse was on cooldown.
Yeah. But right now, Vega just needs to once again push out the lanes and buy as much time as possible.
See ya, Mag. Probably gets up the roar.
Oh.
Does run down the river.
Damn.
Shackle looked like it was
Should have
going to
TP.
connect. Power shot.
He should have TP.
Narrow miss, but where's he go?
Oh, he wants to kill.
He wants to turn a Matumba man. Backups inbound. Mag may live here, and in fact, looks like he could end up getting the kill. He will with the axes. Great turnaround play
I
there.
was wondering why he isn't TPing. Then I realized the Ember is coming in. That's why he wasn't TPing.
Felt a little impatient for Matumba man not to line up the Shackle before he started, but in the end, Mag ends up punishing it.
Yeah, that is a huge turn of events for Vega. That kill, 30 seconds death timer on the Wind Ranger, but essentially it buys more than 30 seconds because you need to actually spend some time to regroup and push out the lanes because the Wind Ranger is down. Wind Ranger is supposed to be pushing out 1 lane, so essentially you're buying at least 1 minute.
Hello, Solo. Jerax
Hello.
has found a little treat up top. There's no stick. And probably no way out here. Dropping very low, looking for the stun, and running right past Jerax into the next line of trees. The jukes! Not sure what he can juke for, though, as Jerax...
He's waiting for...
There's just no one coming. They're abandoning Solo, and he's just hanging on. Jerax, come on, buddy. You can find him. He went the wrong way. He went the wrong way. Solo? Is Jerax going to let him go? I think he saw he has no TP. He must have by this point, and finally pings it out. Stunned again. Solo putting on his juke pants once more. He's running for it. He might just make it out. The Arctic Bird cooling down. Just barely going to grab him at the end there, but this is space created as Vega used this. I mean, what is it? Like a minute window to walk right into the Roach Pit.
This might be bad. They might not be able to escape this.
Good Dazzle Weave, though, to start things off. Requiem comes out as the Tombstone's deployed. Vega scrambling backwards. Shackle shot only latching onto Mag here, but it will be enough for a kill on Mag, as no one also retreats.
Huh, that's
So they hang on to their Aegis, so
that's
no one.
actually not too bad. because
They lose the
they lose
Lina.
the Lina was the top, and Beastmaster is the hero that you don't really mind losing among the 3 cores. So at the end of the day, that was still a really good trade for Vega. They're doing all the right steps to prolonging the game, getting as much as they can out of the map. So overall, they're doing the best they can with the situation they're in.
No one will engage.
Oh,
Shackle shot.
Shackle.
Oh, surprised that one didn't latch as well. There was a tree up the hill, but it doesn't. And the fight progresses from there. A big 2-hero crush from Pasha, looking to bring the pain onto Liquid, but the mech as well as Cold Embrace keep the whole squad in fighting shape now. Fishing for a potential shackle. Matuma Man needs the openings. Mind control low, but does survive through that barrage, that volley of nukes. Now it looks like Liquid may need to retreat. Shackle. That one's a connection
What?
onto no one, but they don't want to follow it up.
That Shackle looks so weird.
I can't believe that one latches and then this one doesn't latch.
Yeah, what the heck, man?
Go to 2. It's always like the angles, just playing tricks with your eyes, I think, more than anything. But man, when they play tricks with your eyes, they really play tricks.
So right now, Battle Fury timing is the next key thing for Vega. They have the Aegis, so this would most likely mean a farming Aegis.
Oh, Invis Rune. No one wanted to grab it and potentially make a jump on Fada for a kill. He's committing for this. Fada gonna pop that Invis Rune, gets pushed down to the low ground by mind control.
We talk about Blink, we talk about Crimson Guard, but we forgot about his favorite item.
Big plays.
For stuff.
That is mind control's speciality.
We used to see this a lot from Ferrari though, but he hasn't been using the offensive 4 stuff as much as it.
I feel like he hasn't been playing the heroes that use it. We've seen a lot of Ember, Shadow Fiend from him. Not so much of his Invoker.
Yeah, he used to get it on Invoker a lot. Invoker.
Or the other mid heroes that buy 4 staff.
I guess,
Outworld Devourer.
I guess only Invoker.
Nobody
Yeah.
plays OD though, so not sure if that even counts as a hero. I'm a real boy, I swear. No, you're not. Shut up. Yeah, OD is just nobody wants to play OD.
Mushi wants to play OD. I can assure you.
She also wants to play Mirana every game.
Mushi also wants to play Ursa.
I like Ursa. I approve of Ursa. Although I feel like he always does get kited a bit.
Bottom lane. Let's see if they get a solo pick off with Mac here.
Might not be solo. Solo is in the neighborhood, so I would make it a 2-man takedown.
The setup right now for Vega is always to constantly spread their heroes across the map, which they are doing really well. They always have one hero with around Mag, so if they see an opportunity that Mag can go in for a initiation, there's always a hero to back him up. And they are using the other heroes to try and gank the other lanes, especially the Slada. Dazzle will be pushing out one lane, and obviously Amber will be pushing out the other lane. So they are allocating their resources very well here.
Uh-oh.
Pasha.
Jerax, poor guy. He's like, I've got a Glimmer Cape. I'll be fine. He curses and then TPs, but they force him to commit the curse. Oh! Almost a first hit bash.
Too
there.
bad. That wasn't 17% bash. That was
That
only
could have been
10.
really ugly if he goes down there.
Still, it's time, you know. You burn a cooldown. Winter's Curse is not a short cooldown. That is something for Vega.
Time to farm, if nothing else.
Time to split push. So the Amber is actually going to have his Battle Fury now in 100 gold. That is a key pickup for him. It's going to allow them to be able to push the lanes much more efficiently. And Liquid just wants to make sure that they take as much as possible away from the map from Vega. Deny on the tower.
Those illusions.
No! What?
Just short. Illusion damage. Not
here
the
we
best.
go.
Pasha, though. The shackle won't connect, and now coming in from the side is no one. He cleans up one. Fada trying to help out his team from the backside of the fight, but Matuma Man's the guy caught out, and he's probably the biggest single target damage dealer at this point. Sleight of Fist doing work, forcing 2 back. They've already killed off 1 core. They look for an additional grab, and Mind Control barely gets caught by the chains. 3 heroes smashed, and they're not even done yet. They're looking for Fada. Might be able to find... Oh, just missing on the chains. Timing not quite right there.
Oh,
but
that
Pasha, while that was going on, able to clean up the Wyvern. So 4 heroes down. Almost a team wipe. The minus armor and the burst damage on Vega is absurd. I was like looking at the Ember WinteR, like, okay, where's his like Daedalus or something?
Yeah,
Just Slardar and Dazzle.
They didn't have the curse for this fight. So essentially the top play by Pasha actually
Won them this fight.
Won them this fight.
That's true.
Because if they had the curse there, they would have been able to turn the fight around with the Requiem and probably save the Wind Ranger as well. The fight would be different. So Even though Slada didn't do much this fight, but he was the MVP. Okay, he got a crush onto here, so.
Radiant's top
Yeah.
tower is under attack.
Minus armor is just
So
devastating.
you
for
remember
Vega.
the last game what Stark did against Alliance? This is what Vega is showing what should have happened.
What
that
Stark
game.
was
Yeah,
supposed
you need
to
to
do.
choose your timings and split push as much as you can. You pick the best timing to fight instead of just trying to run into them. You split push, get as much as you can from the map, and they even got the Roshan, which was the key factor why they had so much courage to start that fight, because they have the Aegis on no one. So they were really, really confident there.
And now they can be a lot more confident. BKB about to come out for Pasha, and there's only one way to stop that initiation,
They-
and that's blowing a curse on him.
They need levels on the Darkseid as well, because they have been 5-manning so much. The Darkseid is really, really low level. So they need to actually get the Darkseid at least to level 10 or 11. 11 would be
He
the
is
ideal.
almost the lowest level in the
Yeah,
game, behind his own Wyvern, in fact.
Level 11 is the most ideal, because then you have 4 points in the vacuum and 1 point in wall. The wall, you don't really need the second point. You just want the 4 points in vacuum. That's when you are able to actually get your job done as a Darkseid.
Yeah, you used to need that second point pretty badly when the duration scaled, but now it's the same 45 at all levels.
Yeah,
so.
it's just
Used to be 15, 30, 45, I
it's
think.
just important to get 4 points in the vacuum, because the vacuum is your primary tool of securing the team fights. So they need another level on mind control, and he has his blink if he wants to in a short period.
They are getting heavily outfarmed, though, at this point. Outside of the top cores, Matama Man looking for solo, but you can see the supports getting a lot of work done. Stun, narrowly dodged. Focus fire is ready. Shackle will not connect. And well, while that chase is attempted, Jerax gets massacred mid, but Kurga say, oh, I guess I'll take that gem. Pasha may go on him as well. Thinking about it. Amping.
And they're just doing such a good. It's just so nice to look at them play. You know, it's so beautiful. Their team play is really
It's
good.
like a delicate ballet, you know?
Yeah.
Just
They're
pick off here,
dodging, jumping around. Oh, I'm not gonna fight you here, but I'm gonna wait for you there. And they're just playing Liquid around. They're moving them across the map and just choosing the pickoffs with the vision they have.
There's your Shackle and no one mid lane. Big leap
Oh
forward by
my
Matamba.
God. Finally, they get a break. You know.
Fada Illusions get the kill. Probably a little salty if you're Matamba.
Come on, the illusions has the aura, the minus aura, the
Yeah,
armor. So
yeah,
it actually helped the Wind Ranger deal damage.
That's technically true.
He deserves the kill.
I feel like the Wind Ranger deserves it more, but
But he could have done it without the illusions.
oh, Pasha thinking about a man mode jump, but not on the Shadow Fiend. He's a bit too durable.
Oh no, he might actually get caught out here if he gets shackled. Oh,
It will not connect.
how did that not connect?
Matamba, man, just cannot find a shackle.
How did that not connect?
Aside from like the weird side
No, but
sidearm,
how did that actually not latch on the tree?
I don't know.
Isn't
Do I look like I sprugged you?
You look like Osrog.
Ouch. Well, I think Frog is very beautiful, so, you know. Thank you.
He was here. How this tree?
I guess it was too sharp of an angle because he shot it like maybe too
No,
much
he
like
was-
that
he
and
was-
not enough
He
like
was
that.
here when he shot. I don't know.
Radiant's bottom tower
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man.
Whatever. That's really good for Vega, anyways.
They're happy. They are spreading the map more and more. Mag after the Necro 3, he's gone back for a blink.
Yep. They're doing a very good job. Again, Mac has been consistently placing himself at the bottom lane. So they have been sending Mac bottom lane. Pasha will be freestyle. He tries to get a pick up. Dazzle pushing mid. Lina is always pushing top if you realize. Solo is always at top.
tower is
So they just want to make sure that every lane has someone. And Ember will be jungling or pushing mid. So really efficient play
Solo's
from
been
Vega.
farming up a storm. He like cleared out the enemy jungle
What?
3 or 4 times.
Wait, look at his net.
Ag's almost done.
Look at his net worth.
Look
What?
at the CS, 143 CS. This guy is like
Shit.
putting AUI 2000 to shame with how much he's farming.
Crap, he actually has an axe.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
What?
Impressive stuff.
What did that? When did that happen?
He's just been farming all game.
he
While
didn't
Liquid
get
were 5-manning.
kills. He just got creeps.
And they do smoke. Thinking maybe that Roshan has respawned, but indeed it has not. Unfortunate for Liquid.
Man, this is why I said Vega will be really good contenders of winning the next major. They are playing very well. Very, very good execution and understanding of the situation they are in.
So how highly exactly do you rank them, WinteR, the way they're playing right now?
There should be like the top, like the stronger teams at the major. I think that I would place them with Secret and EG. They're looking really good shape, in really good shape right now. So
I feel like the one region I've not seen very much out of is the Chinese teams.
yep, we'll see at the majors.
Yeah, we'll see a little bit at Nanyang. There's going to be all top
Yeah.
4 teams there.
I think at the way they're playing right now, they should be able to compete with, even if the Chinese teams are really strong, they should be, Vega should still be able to
Oh yeah,
compete.
that's definitely the case.
just look at how well they are playing. So I think if they actually win this team fight, they essentially win the game.
Vega on the wraparound, no one in
This is
front,
key.
charging towards
Mind
the
control
Liquid squad, mind controlling back.
Needs to pull off a big vacuum
All right,
ball.
they also need Jarex to help out. He's the gem carrier, could come into play here
Is under attack.
as they move forward. Still searching for that initiation. Vega, smoke now.
They're trying to
gonna
get
break.
a better angle. They're trying to set up a better angle. At this
Unfortunately, with the
junction-
smoke down,
No, at this junction it's better for the Wyvern plus Dogs here. As long as the pathing is actually very narrow into
well, now they have vision. They've got the ward up the hill. They know exactly what's coming their way. And in fact, Liquid are charging in. They want to get
Oh,
aggressive
Mag.
here. Can he find the shackle initiation? Matumba Man searching, but the Ember zips out. The rest of Vega scramble. Now Matumba hunts. Power shot also a miss. Solo running back in.
No
He might be able to
TP.
get off his combo. For the Horde! Down he goes. But an acceptable casualty is now. They catch out Fada. Dude, does Vega really want to fight without the Lena's presence in this upcoming team
the
fight?
carry Lina.
She really is.
She can do more damage or as much damage as the cause right now with the Aghanims.
Radiant's top tower
So I think
is
she's
under
part of their huge damage source. You don't really want to fight without the Lina.
Score 10-9 at 32 minutes. Feels like a very low action game, but
Yeah,
in
but
fact, there's been a lot of tactical
It's
movement.
it's a lot of tactical movement and trying to get the upper hand, even though there's no kills. But the game is very exciting in terms of tactical value.
This is my kind of Dota. It's honestly reminds me of the good old days with Chinese Dota, where you'd see a lot more like dancing around the roach pit.
His BKB.
What? Tactical. He's trying to bait them in, though they haven't actually seen it.
They're gonna see it. No, they're just gonna back.
Oh, they're going in. Jerax
They're
wants
just
to
gonna
engage
back.
here.
I don't think they want to
Vega
fight.
down in the pit, but the Necro army really
Yeah.
punishing Jerax here. As
They
he looks
don't
to
have
engage.
the-
They're still chasing though. Matumba with the shackle starts to go to work on Sayoma the Slayer, but
He
he's
should be
fairly
fine.
tanky. He has the Grave available. TP also online. Roar can come out. Now the Laguna. They delete Matumba Man from the fight,
The
and they
carry
maybe even
Lina.
look for more.
The carry Lina. is
Solo rushes in. He gets the Yules off, and then the follow-up comes from Pasha, who immediately gets a crush in the instant Slate of Fist KO from no one. Secures them a secondary grab. Now Mind Control will be the third man down. Vega outplaying the pants off of Liquid. Just really dominating in these skirmishes.
Yeah, they chased too far with Matumba Man. They're going out of position where the Wyvern and his team couldn't actually help him. Or Mag.
No one's just baiting,
Oh!
but the crush narrowly misses. They may get the kill on Fada anyway. As he gets the heal bomb comes up from the high ground.
Oh,
A secondary
damn,
grave
that
from
was-
Sayoma.
that
Sick
was-
dazzle plays.
That was such a good grave to make sure that he doesn't die to the Death Requiem.
Easy grabs. Vega
Saving-
now firmly in the driver's seat.
Saving the Aegis.
Well, WinteR, now they don't have to rat. I think now if they want to,
Oh.
they can start to take some fights.
And now the rats has all grown up. They are like rodents, the big rodents right now. They're gonna just knock on your door and try to bombard themselves into your house.
I don't get that last part, not gonna lie. I think you may have overreached there a little bit with your I don't even know, what do you call that? Your imagery?
That's a chip. That's just a chip into the jar.
Roland just started laughing at you uncontrollably. He's losing his shit. Alright, WinteR. So, how much longer do Vega want to farm here? Shadow Fiend is still pretty big, but you've got excellent just physical damage to shut him down.
Mag is going down.
Oh.
Good pick off. But yeah,
Meanwhile,
but
top lane though, Jerax also wants to make a move. He's got Kuroki here. And I think they just saw him. Pasha jumping in, trying to find him. Glimmer Cape's back, but that's going to wear off momentarily. And Pasha, he's on the hunt. He sees Jerax now. Amp comes out, holding him in position while they work on the tombstone. No one going to join this little engagement. And they BKB. The curse is there, but Pasha, fairly tanky, easily able to survive this. Whiffs the crush, though. Matumba Man arrives, starts shredding up. The Dazzle will finish him off rather rapidly. Now the Shackle onto Solo. Latches him this time to a little creep. And then the wall. Liquid strike right back. They're going to take down 4. They might even get the full 5-man wipe as no one desperately tries to survive. Remnant goes back again, but Kuro's waiting. He actually retreats away to heal up his team. That's the Aegis once.
Oh my god.
And they're going to prep for round 2. Shackle, will this one connect? Sleight of Fist. No more Remnants. No more escape. No mercy for no one. Although he jumps as the one last Remnant actually backed, but Jarx was camping it.
Oh my god. They
5 heroes smacked down just when you think Vega have seized the reins.
They were supposed
Liquid
to be
strike back.
They were supposed to be in control, but they took a fight where they fought without the Beastmaster, and that overextension cost them the whole fight. The Aegis as well, so they have to buybacks now. They need to use their buybacks to defend here.
Well, at the rate they're going, they may lose the tower before they even do buyback. Pasha's so far the only one to do it, but Liquid are
Really disciplined play there though.
thinking about backing off of that.
The Slada can blink crush and they buyback on the Ember. So they need
They're
to
waiting for that opening, but while the Tombstone stands, it gets very hard, and now the tower brought into deny range. Looks like Vega may end up having to just give this one away. But clear out the wave. They do manage to hang on to the Ember buyback, but the tower ends up going down, and Liquid strike back in a gigantic way. Now, leading in terms of gold, pretty much even in terms of experience.
They got really overzealous there though. They fought without the the Beastmaster from Mag, and it cost them so much. That was a really heavy price for them to pay. But I still think that as long as they don't make too many more mistakes after this, they still have a really good chance of taking the game because of M damage and Ember doing a lot of physical damage later with the Lina, with Ags. They have really good late game damage from their heroes.
They're definitely going to want an MKB soon, as a Butterfly was just completed on Fada. Pretty much his main way to withstand the physical damage is just pray to the evasion gods.
And you pray that the Ember has no time to get his MKB.
Yeah, and you're also up against a Wind Ranger, so MKB definitely feels like the next big item for Ember at this point.
I agree. I don't think at this rate you finish your Daedalus, you get an MKB on the Ember. Even the Slada though, I think if you're confident that you can actually do some right-click punching with your Slada, you actually even go for MKB on Slada. That's not something you see too much. Usually Slada just go for very... You go tanky items. You go AC, you go hard, just make sure you survive, and you just keep dropping your crushers in fight.
What do you think Mind Control wants here? He's already got a Perseverance. What would be the most... Oh, is he already sending something out? Lotus Orb complete.
Lotus Orb sounds good against their heroes.
Laguna, Roar. I guess Amp is okay.
Yeah, you take away the M as well. You remove the M when you cast it.
Yeah.
A lot of utility with this Lotus Orb.
Uh-oh. Pasha in pretty far. He's sprinting forward. They're sprinting away. They do not want to fight the hideous fishman.
Top lane. The carry Lina.
Oh, she'll be fine. Wouldn't surprise me if she just starts trying to kill.
What's her next item?
No one solo.
Boots of Travel. A Blink?
Blink. BOTs. BKB's not that good this game.
I think you just want to be able to burst stuff down.
Even a Hex after that, maybe.
Yeah, Hex is also good.
Hex and then Refresher.
We always say that if you don't know what to buy in late game, you buy a Hex. Because you can never go wrong with her.
Especially against two big auto attackers, like your Shadow Fiend Wind Ranger duo.
Huh. Astral Blade? We saw that from, who was it? No-Tail? Against Wyvern. Astral Blade could be good.
I guess it amps up your regular combo.
Yeah, but it doesn't amp your... Like, the whole team does more or less physical damage.
Yeah, it kind of works against their concept, whereas... I guess same idea for Liquid at this point. They're primarily physical damage, so... Defensively, Ethereal Blade's not bad either.
Yeah, it depends on how you use it, though.
It doesn't seem like the ideal Ethereal Blade game by any means, but...
It
has some utility.
So what do you think else he goes for here?
I definitely like the Blink. It just sets up the Yule so nicely.
Even a Refresher could be good.
Hunting Pasha. What a long range curse! Seriously, what was that? Jerax! Well, he'll make it easy for Matama Man. Able to find the first kill, and now on the run, no one.
And he was the one that bought out the last time. That is huge.
Down for 70. They can complete an MKB here. Does no one want to just go all in on the item purchase? He may have to, because the split push from Solo going to be too slow. And speaking of Solo, WinteR, we were so far off. This is an MKB rush. Solo is actually just going full on hard carry Lina. Forget about support. With my level of farm, I'll do the heavy lifting myself, he says.
Oh, they're going to lose a Rax here, though.
No MKB purchase here by no one. Without that, he's going to really struggle to slow down this push. First the melee, now the ranged.
Yeah,
The split push is slow and deliberate.
There's not much they can do here with one man down.
Looks like they may be trying to cancel some TPs as Vega do arrive at the Radiant base. The bottle gets dropped back. Nobody actually going to stop TPs. Mag will blink away. Solo backs off.
Still a lot of damage done though.
Oh, they are hunting Matamba. Sleight of fist change just inches short there.
Undying is going for a secondary Glimmer Cape. Sorry, not Glimmer Cape, Lotus Orb for his team.
Double Lotus.
We saw when EG play their support Undying, Fear always goes for the Aghanim's Rush. Quite a difference between how the teams actually use this hero as a support. Some teams build a mech, some teams get a medallion maybe, or a Glimmer Cape.
I feel like at this point in the game, you're just not going to be casting very many decays. You're up against so much lockdown. Like Lina Yules into stun, Ember Chains to set up a crush or a roar.
Even if you have 30 strength stolen, or what, 50?
And you're also still going to die
M
anyway.
damage, you're still dying.
Yeah, I feel like the Eggs build to me seems very much if you're snowballing or at least on a decent pace and you want to stay ahead. Also, if the enemy team lacks lockdown or burst, then it works. But how many lineups lack lockdown and burst? That's a pretty uncommon draft.
Not Vega's lineup.
Definitely not Vega.
And Mag is going for, I think, a refresher as well.
He's already got his MKB.
Dude, what is
This is disgusting. He's 243 CS. He's more farmed than his Ember in terms of creeps. Look at this.
You know, he used to be a carry player.
Oh, I remember. I like his support better, but this is not even support anymore for solo.
Support Lina, question mark.
Double question mark.
That's not how you use the double question.
I'm just trying to be different here, buddy.
So Liquid is going to make a smoke play, try to actually get a pick off before they want to push high ground.
Fodder the man in front has a Haystone as well as a Hyperstone picked up.
The support
They
Lina.
surge in Matamba, man. A shackle here, almost a certain kill, and Solo has no buyback available. He's going to use himself. Doesn't have to blink to get away, though. In a lot of danger, the quick defensive grade, but Fodder just keeps on marching and will not let Solo get out so freely. Manta dodges the stun, it looks like, and now chases forward for a bit more. Vega just in a headlong retreat.
That is your carry Lina down.
Yeah, that's an MKB down as well. Something they desperately need to deal with this butterfly as well as the wind run. And Liquid wrap back on mid, trying to find a lane to settle on to push in 50 seconds with a 5v4. Lotus Orb now out. Activated on Kuroki, and they're going to amp up Fada. He really doesn't care. Just gets up in front, starts smacking the tower. Glyph gets forced out again. Super slow, super steady. Just the new Liquid. These guys don't rush.
Yeah, they're very, very patient. 28 seconds. That's how much they need to buy time for Solo to come back up.
Pasha taking some pressure from Jerax. Gotta worry about that Winter's Curse as they blink it with Mag. Trying to find the real Shadow Fiend, but all three of them running in. That's the power of the Manta. Prevents that easy roar. They will engage onto Fada, but he gets kept alive for the moment by a nice cold embrace. Everybody forced back. The BKB of Pasha committed. And they still hang on to a Winter's Curse. Jerax looking for the counterplay, but no chance of that because the zombie man gets shredded by a big cleave through.
Here comes
Still,
the chase.
Rax down. Everybody else on the way out looks like Mind Control will escape as well.
Roshan. They need to get Roshan.
It
Oh my
comes-
god. How convenient double damage.
Oh, yummy.
The game just wants Vega to get back into this.
Are you saying that Ice Frog's biased? Should we go riot? Should we riot?
No, I don't mind. It's gonna make this game more interesting.
You say you don't mind, but that implies that you know that he's biased.
So I mind. What am I supposed to
So
say?
it is 1.5 racks. They get the mid racks. They also managed to claim top. Still a very big victory for Liquid, even though Vega grabbed the Aegis. A lot of work left to do, though. Ember's closing in on his second big item, the Daedalus. More or less done, just needs the recipe.
At this rate, you just buy out.
Oh, yeah.
You don't really want to save gold for buyback since you have Aegis and you need to push the lanes. So I think you go for the full Daedalus when you have it.
Yeah, if you can't win a fight with 2 lives in these items, I feel like you're definitely not winning a fight with 3 lives without a Daedalus.
But the thing is right now, Liquid can actually just speed up. They can maybe use some heroes as a distraction and send the Wind Ranger to finish your Rex or tier 4 towers. Because they are in a good position to control the fights right now with the racks down on 2 lanes. So they can actually just use heroes as distraction to rat their way into victory with the Wind Ranger focus fire. You can take down a building so quickly alone.
They do have a gem on Jerax, and they've had it for a little while now as they complete a Daedalus on their Wind Ranger of Matumba Man. Vega starting to cluster a bit mid. Feeling like they have to start getting things done. That top lane got
here
pushed
comes the
in.
boots of travel on the Hawk. Are they going to be able to pick off?
Blank, Mag with the roar, finds Kuroki. They blink in, follow this one up. Jerax keeping him alive though with the Cold Embrace and the Shackle, turn around onto Pasha. And then the curse, beautiful Wyvern play from Jerax and the follow-ups there in the form of a wall, but they rush forward. No one, still with 2 lives to go and doing work here with his auto attacks alone. Not able to finish anybody off just yet. On the sidelines, Fada trying to find that easy hero to take down. He's thinking about a Requiem, does that little Shadow Fiend jig, and then no one goes for the Remnant away, but doesn't quite find the range, and diving too deep was Pasha. Did not have the backup. No one almost going to lose the Aegis here. Fada hunting has the butterfly activation if he wants that extra move speed. Not opting to use it just yet, but it's still a 2-for-1.
Man, they dove in so deep for that. They could have just taken the 1-for-1 trade and get out. I think that was still good for them if they took the 1-for-1 trade, because they forced a lot of cooldowns from Liquid, and that was a great Winter's Curse from Jerax again to save them from losing that fight.
Not only that, but also a great Cold Embrace. So he played the hero to its utmost potential in that fight.
Yeah, this is one of his best heroes, honestly. The Wyvern, the Shaker.
I want to see his Earth Spirit again, man. Just waiting for the day.
Oh, just you wait.
Yeah?
No way that he was coming into CM.
What do you know that we don't? You having a little chat with your old buddy? WinteR, you can't like tease us like that. You can't hide secrets from us like that. You know what happens when you do that? People get very angry. Bad things might happen to you when people are angry.
People get angry anyways.
People will get a lot more angry when you tease that heroes are being added to CM that might not be added to CM.
The smoke.
They will jump. The curse comes out into no one, but the roar's there to counter on Jerax. Bit too late. Deleted by Solo with a massive Laguna Blade, and now they hunt forward. The huge physical damage from no one as he engages onward to get the mini bash. The critty sleight of fist dodges the death requiem, so no one will live through the whole AoE. Kit and Caboodle now mind control looking for TP out, just barely able to escape. And the line gets drawn from mid to north. Kuroki probably not particularly happy with how that fight went. A 3,700 gold drop, a 5,700 experience
They
trade.
did not check this point. That was really important for them to check here with their gem. They didn't check this spot, this particular spot. It gave away everything Liquid were trying to do. They were trying to secure high ground advantage here, and probably wait for someone from Vega to actually run up this area so they actually secure terrain advantage when they are trying to take the fight. But they just didn't scout out this cliff. The wall actually won Vega that fight.
Man, look at this next level Dota from no one. Ferrying out salves just so that he can push down mid a bit faster.
Ferrying out mangoes, you know. Someday.
Mangoes are not value. Not at this stage.
Someday, you know, when you're pushing, why not you go back to base to heal, you just use mangoes.
A little fruit feast, you know, to get your day started right.
You get mangoes so you heal your mana faster. And there we go. The refresher up finally done.
Could be very big. Liquid about to be under assault here. Aegis is also wearing off though, so seems they don't really want to commit too far.
They're not keeping buybacks on their heroes though. Vega are really confident. They just bought out the gold on the Lina as well. Beastmaster bought the refresher, so no buybacks on Lina and Beastmaster. Slada has no buyback. Ember, I guess, is the only one to have buyback with the Dazzle. Yep.
Ember and Wyvern.
Dazzle doesn't even have enough for the buyback, so Ember is the only one that has buyback. Usually at this stage of the game, you want to have buybacks on everyone.
At the same time, Liquid also only have the Wyvern, so they don't even have a single core
Yeah, but
buyback.
no one knows that, right? Vega doesn't know. That's just us because we can actually see everything. So when you're playing in the dark, you just need to make sure that you have buybacks on everyone during this stage of the game.
Oh, the back from high ground to low ground. Pasha just gonna BKB, tries to run away, but Focus Fire begins to go to work with Pasha on the retreat. Squirms back, will successfully escape.
This is the second.
And that may end the siege.
The second fastest hero in the game after Bloodseeker.
Yeah, but unlike Bloodseeker, this hero actually has some useful
Drawbacks.
abilities.
Useful. What? You think Bloodseeker sucks?
No, I mean, obviously the silence is really good. Ruptures can be strong, can be useless.
Come
but
on, Blood Rage. Blood Rage, dude. Blood Rage, you're
yeah,
carrying me.
but like Slardar amps up your damage and gives you team fighting crowd control reliably. Can you really compare the two?
Okay, maybe not.
And helps you Roche, which Bloodseeker.
Alright,
not so
Bloodseeker
much.
sucks.
Is under attack.
Bloodsuka. That's why they call him it, because he is definitely not the best.
He is definitely not the best, according to you.
Are you going to be picking him for your new teams? Would you advise Mushi to first pick Bloodseeker? Oh, mid lane. Looks like Matumba Man tried to engage on Pasha. Now he's got to scurry away, though. That Blink Crush is coming. Oh! Swing and a miss from Pasha. Didn't get off the amp. Now the BKB, this time from Matumba Man, but there's a roar available. He blinks back a bit further.
Oh my god, they should have at least gotten one kill.
Series of miscues from Vega lead to a Liquid Great Escape.
So Liquids are the one trying to dodge. You see how this game actually evolves? At the start, Vega were trying to dodge. Now Liquid is the one trying to dodge. Because they can't really fight against what Vega
And it's
have.
crazy when you look at the net worth on the big cores. Like, all three of Liquid's cores are out in front, but
All four of Vega's cores.
then you remember Lina is a core now. Lina is gigantic. And if she doesn't get focused in these fights, she can easily bring down someone like the Wind
I actually
Ranger.
feel she needs a BKB now though, because she's dealing so much damage. She needs
Oh,
to,
she will be focused.
she needs to be able to stand in a fight to actually right click and output damage, I feel. And if you're going down the route where you want to go to the late game, the ultra late game, oh my god, here we go, see you.
Finished off by the decay. What a way to die.
Yeah, if you're going into the ultra late game, you want to have refresher. So BKB is the active item that you want to have with the refresher.
Do you think he should have gotten BKB before the MKB? Or you just think he needs it now?
It's kind of hard to argue though about that, but BKB is much safer, obviously, compared to the MKB. I'm not sure how much did the MKB do in the last few fights where they won. But if you ask me, I would rather have the BKB. And here we go, Raw! Cool Embrace!
They're going to roar Matumba Man, but it seems like a mostly wasted roar. Pasha gets the 3-hero crutch, though. This could be a great setup. Laguna played on Fauna. Does not have Satanic yet, but they back. They wall. And then they curse, committing on no one who's graved. Sayoma with the huge support plays again. Sleight of Fist, can no one get out? He's going to remnant his way forward. He commits into this fight. He's got the buyback, pops it immediately. Fada now trying to re-engage, and Sayoma dropping very low. The wall finishes him off in the end. The Shadow Fiend illusion doing a lot of work. Or, sorry, not Shadow Fiend.
Oh my god,
Slardar illusion. Now they turn with the Sleight of Fist. No one could die back here. He will end up going down in the middle of the wall. Did for 110 seconds. This might be it. Solo also on the precipice. He'll fall to an auto-attacking Wyvern of all things as Mag's forced back to the well. And all of a sudden, just like that, no one and the rest of Vega are blasted out of game one. Down 0-1 in the best of 3. Just when you thought Vega were starting to pull away with the late game, Liquid, an excellent back wall, a great curse, good saves there from the Wyvern. That wall really ruined them. I think it was the Slardar or Beastmaster illusions were just smacking down supports that were trying to run away, and they just melted to it.
Yeah, the team fight definitely from Liquid is just much more superior when they actually execute it. And when you jump in with the Slardar and you don't get a first pick up because of the Cold Embrace, it's very difficult for them to follow up after, because if you dive in too deep, you have the Vacuum into Curse to worry about and the Shadow Fiend. But the key moment of the game, it was not that last fight. It was still the fight where they lost Mag at bottom and they still continued to pursue the top lane when they had Aegis, and they lost the whole team. That was the point where I felt that Vega actually lost all their advantage. They were in really good control of the game. They got the Aegis and they kept on speed pushing and farming, but that fight actually threw everything away.
Yeah, Ember died twice. They lost everyone else.
They bought out the Slardar as well, and then they lost the Slardar after that, and Slardar didn't have buyback and they couldn't defend their tier 3 towers because they had one hero down. So that fight actually, I think, changed the whole face of the game.
I would agree. And with that, guys, Vega now trailing 0-1 against Liquid, even though they were pretty heavily favored coming into this match. So it's a best of 3. It's a winner bracket match. No matter what, neither team goes home, but we're going to take a break. When we come back, Game 2 of the series. Stick around. You're watching the Summit 4.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember, G2A.com WinteR.com, the best video game store ever!